Clock's trial officially commenced today, with reporters in the courtroom offering insights from the first day. They noted that the prosecution appeared disorganized, stumbling over their words, struggling to respond to the judge's questions, and presenting scant evidence to challenge Clock's defense. As the day drew to a close, Clock appeared visibly emotional, a natural response given that this was his first trial. However, his legal team reassured him, whispering that they were confident in securing a victory. Later, his lawyers shared a message from him sent from jail.
I know going on, man. I know something to you, man. Like, good news to the guys, man. Hey, yo, like, I'm back real soon. Shout out to my fans and my supporters, man. I love y'all, man. For all of you out there, good job, man. For me, and do what y'all supposed to do, man. Like, the revenue, bro. Like, get money. So, man, I'll see you real soon.
To understand K-Flock's potential release date, it's important to first examine the details of the case. According to the trial records, on December 23, 2021, rapper K-Flock, whose real name is Kevin Perez, was involved in the fatal shooting of Oscar Hernandez. That day, Flock was walking down a city sidewalk with two others, dressed in a blue designer coat, a shisty mask, and designer jeans. As he passed a barbershop, Oscar Hernandez, who was inside, spotted him. Recognizing Flock, Hernandez ran outside and confronted him, yelling, "What are you looking at?" Given their past history, the two quickly got into a heated argument, exchanging words. When the argument ended, Hernandez turned his back and began walking away. At that moment, Flock allegedly pulled out a firearm and opened fire, hitting Hernandez multiple times as he tried to run back into the barbershop for safety. Once Flock stopped shooting, he fled the scene, leaving Hernandez lying on the sidewalk. Witnesses immediately called 911 in an attempt to save Hernandez's life. Paramedics arrived and transported him to a local New York hospital, but he was ultimately pronounced dead. At the scene, all that remained were shell casings and Hernandez's slides. For 24 hours, the NYPD had no leads on the masked suspect. They collected security footage but couldn't identify him. That's when they turned to the public for help, releasing a photo of the suspect online. Unfortunately for Flock, just hours before the shooting, he had posted pictures of himself wearing the same blue designer jacket seen in the footage. Fans quickly put two and two together and identified him. Realizing the situation, Flock acted fast. In his last hours as a free man, he hired one of the best defense attorneys, met with him, and then turned himself in at the NYPD's 30th precinct. His lawyer released a statement saying, "Yesterday, I accompanied Kevin as he self-surrendered to detectives at the 30th precinct. Arrangements were immediately made with the NYPD once I learned he was wanted. Regarding the charges against him, we have begun our own investigation. We will address bail once we have reviewed the case and further examined the DA's evidence." After receiving the prosecution's evidence, Flock's legal team maintained that he acted in self-defense.
When the guy hits the ground and is found, he's got a loaded that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. So we consider that to be self-defense.
So he did take even in self-defense?
That's what the allegation is. You know, I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case.
Okay.
The government claims that he pulled it. But at the same time, the person that was on the ground had his hand on a illegal loaded.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense.
That could be one of the arguments, self-defense, and I would say to the public, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear is going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not want?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate to hold it.
Shortly after the NYPD released their statement, they suggested the incident was rooted in a long-standing rivalry between street crews, largely due to K-Flock's ties to a Bronx-based group. With his street background and rising influence, he became a constant target for retaliation from rivals. This ongoing conflict ultimately took a toll on his reputation in the rap industry, prompting his best friend to say,
"Okay, but so I saw some fans who were off at both me and academics after K-Flock got locked up because, well, just because I guess, like, you know, in our tone when we talked about it, you know, it might have seemed like we were being a little too presumptuous. But is that weird for you? Because I'm sure you see people all the way from rappers to whoever acting like you know, your boy is just done and that he's cooked in the situation.
People, especially people that don't even be knowing. Like, y'all don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
I noticed some fans were upset with me and academics after K got locked up, probably because of how we talked about it. Maybe our tone came off as too presumptuous. But doesn't that seem weird to you? Because everywhere I look, from rappers to random people, it's like they've already decided your boy is done, like he's completely cooked in this situation. And the craziest part? Most of them don't even know what's really going on, bro.
Talk to them, Flop. Talk to them, my dog. Soon come home, man. You got these little boys walking around with no jewels, Flop. They need you. They need you, Flop.
Let them know, my dog. You got these little boys out here walking around with no jewels. Flock, they need you. They need you, bro. I'm coming.
What's it like for you watching the K Flock thing happen? That's crazy. Next big artist coming out of New York.
I love Flock, so I like that. That's my guy.
Okay.
But you know, I'm wishing him the best right now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for the alleged charges they pushing on him, you know what I'm saying? I'm wishing his family the best. I'm wishing the whole team the best and everything. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he beat them alleged charges. Because he got a lot of future brightness. He got it. I hope, you know what I'm saying?
That would be a sad story if that's the ending.
We ain't gonna think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
This even led to Bobby responding to Flock's case.
When they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed. So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They waited all the way to that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took him to trial.
Right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. We're gonna see how he didn't get a bond after.
As K Flock's legal team prepared his defense, he was hit with even more charges. A federal grand jury indicted him on multiple racketeering conspiracy charges, also known as RICO charges. Fans quickly reacted online, with many saying, K Flock just caught a RICO, it's over. DJ Academics also weighed in, stating, the feds just unsealed an indictment on K Flock for a RICO charge. If he doesn't beat those charges or cooperate, the mandatory minimum is life in prison. On top of the federal case, Flock is still facing state charges that have kept him behind bars, drawing comparisons to how the feds handled YNW Melly's situation. Boozy also chimed in, saying, when the feds want you, they'll do anything to get you.
No motherfuckers know what's going on, but them people that's in the courtroom, man. For real. There'll be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what's going on for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, first y'all into the jam bowlers out there. Now y'all come on money up there, man. Snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on for real. Some of my kids, y'all really just be running. That's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them put under the jail.
K Flock's lawyers responded to the RICO charges, stating, we're not surprised by the federal charges, as we've been fighting Kevin's state case for over a year now. The incident was a clear act of self-defense, and the state charges were never strong to begin with. But the fact that they're now being used as the foundation for a federal case is extraordinary. The video clearly shows Kevin trying to walk away before being confronted. Only then did he use an item to defend himself against an armed individual reaching into his pocket. The feds are pulling out every tactic to build their case against K Flock, including targeting his co-defendant, Sticky. According to DJ Academics, K Flock's co-defendant, Sticky, says they approached him, asking him to snitch on Flock, and he told them, no, I'll see you in 30 years. Sticky later took to Instagram, posting a picture of him and K Flock in the streets, captioning it, did stuff in RL together, guess we gotta defend our freedom together. They said, tell us about Kevin, help yourself, 30 years is a long time. Well, guess I'll see you in 30 years. This development is both good and bad news for Flock. The good? His co-defendant is standing firm. The bad? With at least 15 others tied to the case, the chances of someone cooperating with the feds are high. This situation draws comparisons to Lil Durk's case, where similar rumors of people snitching on him surfaced, but were later proven false. At one point, it was even speculated that Durk's co-defendant, OTF Vani, had filed for protective custody when they appeared in court together. This led Durk's best friend Bezu to step in and tell everyone to relax. Amid all the chaos, we finally heard from K-Flock himself. He was spotted on FaceTime with friends on the outside, though it's unclear how he managed to access FaceTime from jail. In the photos from the call, Flock looks visibly concerned, and it's possible he's been struggling internally. He doesn't carry the same confident presence we're used to seeing from him. The call was brief, lasting only about 20 seconds, and while I can't share the footage due to copyright, these images provide a clear glimpse into how K-Flock is looking and feeling as he navigates his legal battle.